Kaylie, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
How did you get into theater?
We went to see a bunch of CYT shows a long time ago, or not a long time ago, but a while back, and I just wanted to try it, and I ended up liking it. So.
What was the first show you ever did with CYT?
Annie Jr.
Annie Jr.?
Yeah.
Have they done it recently?
I think they did it about a year ago.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah.
But it probably wasn't at the Crighton, the first time you did Annie Jr., right?
No, it was, yeah.
What was the next show you did after that?
Aladdin.
Aladdin?
Yeah.
What did you do in Aladdin?
I was a gypsy with Rebecca.
Okay. So, are you into dance or just
No,
no?
I don't know why.
You're a gypsy and you don't like to dance.
It wasn't a good idea.
You know what? And you've probably seen it too. You know, there's sometimes there are things, and there's films, shows, musicals, whatever, and you need your cast of thousands. It's like, okay, fine, you're saying it's like, I don't want to do this. It's like, hey, you're a guy, you're in. Okay. You're always going to be sure, guys. So, what was your first show at the Crighton?
Cheaper by the dozen.
It was cheaper.
Yeah.
So, was your intent to be in that, or you really were looking at another show that you wanted to be in?
I wanted to be in that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you knew that it wasn't the movie version, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, most people don't know that. They say, "Oh, cheaper, yeah, absolutely." They think of Steve Martin, and you're like, "Yeah, Steve Martin did do cheaper, but it sort of resembles."
Yeah.
No, it was a fun time. I still remember the picture of you and Harley. You know, the dog. You know.
Yeah.
He probably didn't want to go anywhere that he had to go, but. And then you went from cheaper to what?
Vaudeville. I think Vaudeville and Aladdin were at the same time.
Wow, so you were in two shows
Yeah.
at the same time?
Yeah, they weren't playing at the same time, but I was rehearsing for them both at the same time. So.
It's pretty cool. What did you enjoy about Vaudeville?
I really just liked the variety in it. There was so much different stuff in it. And it was, I don't know, I was only in one scene, but it was really a lot of fun.
I guess the variety, the variety show is essentially dead.
Yeah.
The variety show died with Carol Burnett and Barbara Mandrell and all those things. They were expensive to do, actually. You were essentially doing a Broadway show every week.
Yeah.
And you had to be creative and you had to make it good, and it was tough. You got to a really big part in Annie, and you got to meet a really good friend. Do you keep in contact with Hope?
I haven't seen her in a while, but I talk to her sometimes.
You follow her on Facebook, or?
No.
No.
I'm not on Facebook.
That's not a bad thing necessarily.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes it's just a big waste of time. That's amazing. Somewhere along the way, though, I understand you got out of theater and you got into songwriting. Why songwriting?
Well, the first song I wrote, I wasn't really trying to write a song. I just kind of did. So then I was like, oh, I like this.
Yeah? Well, you said you just kind of did. What was the deal? What was it about?
Well, really, I just had a chord progression that I've been playing for a couple weeks, and I had a couple of lines stuck in my head, so I just kind of sat down and wrote a song.
Okay. So what instruments do you play?
I play the guitar mostly.
Okay.
I play a little bit of drums, bass, keyboard.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that's it.
Well, that's plenty for starters.
That's mostly what I play, yeah.
So when you write a song, what are they mostly about? Or it could be about anything. What are they about?
Well, yeah, they're just about anything.
Right.
It's usually about something that I see or feel the need to write about. It's not usually about something that happened to me.
Okay.
It's usually about something that I just feel the need to write about.
Okay. When you say feel the need to write about, it obviously must touch you.
Right.
Because usually people, writers, singers, they need a passion or inspiration for, why do I even care about it, right? You've probably seen that, Ron. If you've seen someone do a song and you go, man, why should I care about this song, right? Why do I care about this? But then there are people that they can make you want to like it, or okay, I don't really know this situation, but I've made this connection with people.
You want to write stuff that people can relate to on some level or another.
Right. So where do you normally play?
Do-si-do. And that's really the only place. I've got a couple of things coming up this month at other places. But
what is it about relating to the audience that's different, say, from doing theater?
When you do theater, you're doing something that somebody else wrote.
Right.
And when you're just playing music, you can make it more your own. Theater, you can make that your own too, but it's easier to do with music, and people, I think, can relate to it more.
When you write a song and then you perform it different ways depending on where you are, how you're feeling?
No, not really.
No, really?
Yeah, I usually just play them the same.
Okay. You have favorite singers or musicians?
Yeah, I like a lot of classic rock bands.
Classic meaning what, 1970s?
Like 60s through
60s,
90s.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Beach Boys are my favorite group, and I like the Beatles a lot.
So how did you get into the Beach Boys?
I just heard a song of theirs on the radio about a year and a half ago, and I really liked it, and so I started listening to some of their other songs, and then I met my best friend who's very into them, so yeah,
So you guys perform together?
Yeah, she drums.
Okay, so it's two-piece then. You play guitar, she plays the drums? Mm-hmm. That's cool. Do you ever just do a recording session separate from, say, do-si-do, and then try to embellish it, change it, or add other instruments? Because like you say, you play other instruments as well.
Like at home, sometimes we don't have a very good recording program, but I use the computer, and you can overdub stuff, so that's all I really need to do. And I'll just do that sometimes, experiment with different things.
Do you share those, or do you sell those? How does that work?
I haven't sold anything yet, but I show them to my friends a lot.
I have a friend who he's been in several bands at work, and I mean that's does it on the side, and I can't remember who he does his music through, but he checks it regularly to see how many things he sold. Yeah. Okay, and he sold about 1,000 songs, but he's always checking to say, "Ooh, I got a little more royalties there."
Yeah,
that would be cool. When you get to college, do you want to major in music, or do you want to do something different?
I'm not really sure, but something in music.
Okay. Not necessarily. Okay. Is that because you really enjoy doing this composition and creating the music? Mm-hmm. Any particular places you're looking at going? Or?
No, I don't really know yet.
Has there ever been any music that way that you just can't do at this time?
I guess
for whatever reason.
I guess so.
Like.
You mean like you hear something and you just like don't want to hear it because it makes you emotional or something? Or
it could be that.
Yeah.
Yeah. For instance, I just finished talking to Felix Skoblik. He lost his mother when he was doing some of his shows. So I was kind of curious, I said, okay, should I talk about this or should I not?
Yeah.
Because if it's just too close to home, sometimes it's just not a good time, and you need time to pass, and then you can express it, or write about. But no, he was quite open. That's what I meant. Yeah, were there topics or things that you just, I should write about that, but it's not going to be right now.
No, usually if something like, usually it's not that much of a problem, but if something does happen, if I want to write about it, I'll write about it right away, because that's when it's fresh on my mind, and it just happened. Who's
your partner that does the music?
Her name's Jewel.
Jewel?
Yeah.
How do you two complement each other when you do the music? Usually when you're forming a band, it's at least two, okay, so we'll call it the band, they do something that's really good, and you do something that's really good, and it just works together really well. I mean, if you're both good at the same thing, that wouldn't make sense. If she was really good at guitar, I suppose you could be the Smothers Brothers kind of thing, and you could do that. But how is it that you two complement each other?
Well, we started writing together. That helped a lot, and I mean, I think the instruments go all together, and it just works. There's not really a certain reason.
What kind of things does she like to write about? Is it the same kind of things you do, or different things, different topics?
We usually don't discuss very deeply what we're writing about. I mean, I think we both like people to interpret it for themselves. So
you mentioned the Beach Boys. What other bands that you're kind of like, ooh, yeah, I'd like to play that, or they like that, not necessarily, copy them, but
I like folk music a lot.
Folk music.
Bob Dylan is one of my favorites.
You ever do any Peter, Paul, and Mary?
Oh yeah, I like them. But I really like folk music a lot, and I don't seem to play it as often.
Really?
Because of I don't know, if I'm with Jewel a lot, there's, drums, and it's it's a little bit of a different style.
I'm not sure I see a lot of folk music out there.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot.
I don't see that much. Yeah. If we've got other friends that have, their husband's band, their spouses in the band, and they say the biggest competition they have is the TV in the bar. So, could you guys play a little bit quieter so I could watch TV? It's like, do you ever get that?
Not really.
Good. Thank goodness, because it's like, if you wanted to watch TV, go to a sports bar or go home.
Yeah.
You came to listen to music. Come, listen to me. Now, but is there any type shows that you'd like to do in the future?
I'm really into rock operas. Like, I mean, I know they don't, happen around here very often. Like, they're not put on, but I think a lot of those, I really like those.
Like?
Tommy is my favorite, probably. Or The Wall.
The Wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw The Wall a long time ago. It's different.
Yeah, it's different. I really like the music in both of those. Mm-hmm. And the whole idea of having a concept in your... Are you more into messages, like a message type entertainment, or is both? No. So how did you get into message type entertainment? I guess, the Beatles were my introduction to rock, so a lot of that is message, and I just really liked it. And I guess they're what made me decide I wanted to write more in that direction.
You didn't bring your guitar, did you?
No.
Oh, you could have played. Yeah, you could have played for us. Anyway, but I understand you have some YouTube videos, examples of your music, so we'll certainly reference those.
Okay.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for being here. If heaven exists, what do you want God to say when you get to the pearly gates?
Just that I've lived a good life and helped people.
I checked out your music. It's not bad. Yeah. There's a little, we'll call it bar if you like. Come over here. Just come over here. We've got an opening for you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.